This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about the different types of exceptions in Python. Okay, there are around these are common types of exceptions: syntax error, type error, name error, index error, key error, value error, attribute error, IO error, zero division error, and import error. Okay, we're going to see one by one with the real-time examples. Now, first one is syntax error. If you're making any for example, writing some piece of code, if you are missing some syntax, as per syntax, you are not written the code, definitely this syntax error exception will be thrown. Sometimes you might be missing the semicolons as well as unbalanced parentheses, as well as if loop you missed a colon, okay, and misspelled keywords. If you have missed anything in the code, definitely it's going to throw your syntax error. Now I'm going to have on py file are going to have the name as syntax error. My file name is syntax error. Now I'm going to write on if loop if x greater than 10, if x greater than 10, okay, x greater than 10, and then okay, and then print. I'm going to the print statement. Now x is greater than 10. Now I want to assign the value of x. X is going to be 20. Can you say where is syntax error? Where is syntax error? You see liner 1 or 2 or number 3. Where is syntax error? 2. You have missed the colon. Okay. At the time, what you have to do, you definitely will have an exception call. Exception call what error? Syntax error. It's expecting the colon in the if statement. Okay. At the time, what you can do, you can use colon here. Otherwise, if you want to handle this exception, you have to use what block? Try block. Okay, try block in except block you have to handle the exception. Except what exception it is? Syntax error. Syntax error. Okay, you can handle the exception like this. But I want to show various ways of exceptions will occur. Okay, we're not going to handle the exception today. We're going to see what are the syntax exceptions. This one kind of syntax exception. Okay, now I'm going to show one more exception. Okay, print. I'm going to make it as somewhat. I can mention like hello. Okay. Now, which line having syntax error? Don't look at this code. Look at the line number 3 where you are facing syntax error.
Line number 3.
Line number 3.
Parent.
You have to put the parenthesis. Okay. This is going to syntax error. And then I'm going to say one more example. Going to have one for loop. For I have to have iterable variable in range 10. Okay. Now I'm going to I. Now where syntax error? Look at the top of the code. Can you see the where syntax error?
Is in print statement.
Print statement, you use capital I. Okay, this kind of syntax error because I is not assigned anywhere. Definitely it will throw the syntax error. If you run the script, you can see it will throw the syntax error. 1 minute. Yeah, it's not iterating, right? 1 minute. And it's going to throw the syntax error. Okay, I'll remove this part. Yeah. Did you mean I name? It's coming name error. Okay. Yeah, because yeah, it will come under the name error. Okay, leave it, leave as it is. That's one more type called name error. If I value is not assigned, definitely it is going through the name error. It's not the right example actually. Okay. If you make any syntax, definitely it's going to throw the syntax error. And then next one is going to be, I'm going to show some more example if statement. If x equal to 5, and then I'm going to make a print statement, x is equal to 5. Where syntax error? Look at the top of the code. Where your syntax error? Line 1 or line 2? In if statement, what you have to place? I think if statement, what you have to place. Sorry, it's the right syntax actually. I use colon, and then what I have to use here? I have to use the comparison operator. I have to use the comparison operator because I didn't assign the value, so throwing the exception. You can assign the value x equal to somewhat like 5. Okay. Now, if you are you're not using the double equal to, single equal means assigning, double equal means comparison. Okay. If I use single equal to, definitely it's going to throw what error?
Syntax error.
Syntax error. Okay, you have to follow Python syntax. This is examples of the syntax error. Next, we're going to see. I'm going to get one more file. On the py file, we're going to create as type error. Type error. Okay. Next to type error. Type error is nothing but the exception is raised when operation function is applied to an object of a wrong type, such as adding a string to an integer. For example, if you're trying to concatenate string with the integer, definitely it will throw type error. Okay. Now, that's what I mentioned here is the exception is raised when function is applied to an object of wrong type. For example, string function, a string object cannot be applied to your int object. Okay, that's what I mentioned here is when operation function is applied to the object of wrong type, adding a string to an integer, definitely is going to type error. Now, for type error, I'm going to show some examples. I'm going to take the x value as 5. And then I'm going to have message equal to answer is plus x. Now you're going to say whether it will print the message, what output I will get. If I run this script, what output I will get?
The answer is 5.
See, the answer is string. X is 5.
Okay.
I will get the whether
Type
it will
error.
do the it will throw the type error. It will throw type error. Can only concatenate string. You cannot concatenate int with string. That's why it's throwing type error. If you want to handle the exception, you can use try and except block. You can handle the exception. Okay. Next, I'm going to show one more example. The example is going to be I'm going to have one function. The function name is greet. Function name is greet, and then I'm going to print same hello, and then you can use spaces for here, and then you can concatenate name. Okay. Now, if I calling greet, I'm going to call this function. I'm not going to get any object. This method is not belongs to any particular class. Directly I'm going to call the greet. If I run the script, what will happen? I'm going to remove this thing as of now. I'm going to keep it notepad plus. Okay. Now, say the answer. If I run the script, what will happen? Whether it will print hello or some other outputs I will get.
It will throw error.
it will throw the what error because I didn't pass any argument. See, I didn't pass any argument for greet. I want to pass some name here. I'm not passing any argument. Definitely it's going to throw type error because missing one required positional arguments. You have to pass some string over here. Okay, then only you can able to concatenate with hello.
Okay.
If you're not passing any arguments to a particular method, definitely it will throw type error because you're not passing any positional arguments to your method. Okay, this is another example. Finally, I'll copy and paste over here. This is going to the second example. Okay, now third example is very simple. X is going to be 5, and then y is going to be 10, and then z equal to x plus y. If I print this z, what output I will get? I'm asking you, if I print the z value, what output I will get?
You get type error.
Type error because x is
X is string.
string y is going to integer. Definitely, it's going to be a type error. Can only convert string, not into a string. Okay, that's what type error. Okay, and then this is going to third example. I'm pasting over here. Okay, and then fourth example is I'm going to have one list. Okay, I'm going to have list the variable name. I'm going to keep it as something like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm trying to access my list of 4. What value I'll get? What's x value now?
Four.
How you can say 4? It starts with a 0 index. 0, 1, 2,
3.
3. Right, but you pass 4, right? See, in the list you have to pass only the index. It's 0th index, first index, second index, third index. But I pass the index as 4. Definitely what expression is going to throw? Okay, this is another index error. Okay, we will see it later. It will throw the index error. Index error means out of index because I'm passing the 4th index, but here only 3 indexes are present: 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we will see it later. This is going to index error. Now these are the 3 examples for what error it is. Type error. Okay. Okay, let it be. Now I'm going to show one more exception types. What is the next one? Name error. When the name error will raise, the exception will raise when variable function name is not found in the current scope. Okay, for example, if you are not assigning any variable value, then if you try to call that variable, definitely we will throw the name error. If you are not mentioning the function inside the scope, definitely we will throw the name error. Okay, the exception is raised when a variable function is not found in the current scope. Then you will get the name error. We're going to see the few examples for name error. New py file, and then it's going to be a name error. Okay, now first thing I'm going to show, I'm going to reference a variable. Referencing a variable or function that has not been defined. Okay, but I'm going to keep here as x equal to z plus 5. Now, if I print the value of x, what will happen? Look at the commands now. Referencing a variable or function that has not been defined. Now, Which one is not defined?
Z is not defined.
Z is not defined. Definitely it's going to throw what error?
Name error.
Name error. Okay, this is the first example. Okay, because I am not defining a variable, definitely it's going to throw the name error. Now, next example I'm going to show. In the meantime, I'll cut and paste in the notepad. The second example is going to be, I can say like, okay, we'll do one thing. Typing a module, okay, typing a module or variable or function name incorrectly. Function name incorrectly. Okay. Now, can you say some packages, machine learning package you're going to use? Matplotlib package. Okay. Matplot instead of lib, I am using lib. Okay. Instead of lib, I'm using lib. Dot pyplot as plt. For understanding, I can say import from import pandas. Instead of pandas, I'm putting panda as pd. Okay. Now, if you're typing a module or typing a variable or function name incorrectly, what kind of exception will throw? What kind of exception will throw?
Same name error.
Okay, like it's something different. It's throwing
Module not
module not
found.
found error. Module not found error. It's also come under in the type error only actually. Okay, sorry, name error only. It comes in the name error. Okay, module not found error because the model is not available right now. Okay, this is also examples you can see. You can save here. Okay, now I'm going to have an example. Trying to access a variable. Try to access a variable outer scope, outside of the scope. Okay, outer scope. Now going to have one function. Going to have one outer function. Outer function. Sorry, outer function, and then use colon, and then I'm going to have the value x equal to 5, and then going to have one nested function. It's going to be a inner function. In that I'm going to access my x value. Can I able to access the x value? And then I'm going to call the inner function. Inner function, and then I'm going to call the after that I'm going to call my outer function. Okay, and then I'm going to print the value of x. Okay, see the outer function data type is inner function. If I call this outer function, it's going to call me inner function. Inner function has to print the value of x. Now, can I able to access the value of x? The see the x is assigned in the outer function. I can't able to access in the inner function.
Inner function.
Okay, then what kind of exception will throw? Let's see. Will throw what error?
Name error.
Name error. The outside function variable cannot be accessed inside the function. If you want to access a variable inside function, you can use the decorators. You can use decorators, right? You can do like this, but normally you can't able to access the outer function to the inner function. Okay, now I'm trying to access the value of x. It's saying like name error, name x not defined. Okay, name x is not defined. Now fine. Now we're going to see the index error. Next topic is going to be index error. Where is index error? The exception is raised when the index is out of range for a list, tuple, or other sequence types. For example, I have list 1, 2, 3, 4. If I try to access the fourth index, it will throw the index error. Now I can show this example. Before that, I'm going to cut and then paste it here. Then Control A, Control X, and then Control V. Now I'm going to have one py file called index error. Now I'm going to have one for I in. Sorry, I'm going to have one list. My list equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. If I'm trying to print my list index of 5, what's the value? What will be the value?
3. Sorry, 4.
My list of 5.
4.
See, in the list it starts index as 0. I given the index as 5. What value will come? Index of 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But I passed index as 5.
Index error. Index error.
It will get the index error. Index error, list index out of range. This is going to the first example. Trying to access your index that is out of range. That is out of range for a list or a string or tuple for a list or tuple or string. Okay, I can copy cut and then paste in a notepad. Now second example. Second example is trying to access a negative index. Trying to access a negative index for a list. Index for a list. Tuple and string. Now we will try the string. I'm going to have like a my string. Going to have some word like San is a good girl. San is a good girl. Okay, giving like this, and then I'm going to print the negative index value. My string. I'm going to have minus 23. Okay, negative index means it has to come to reverse order. Now minus 23 value. What value it's going to print? What value is going to print? Minus 23.
The same index error.
Index error. Index error, string index out of range. Okay, this is going to second example. These are the various examples. And the third example I'm going to show in the comments. Trying to access index that is not integer. Trying to access an index that is not an integer. Okay. Now I'm going to have some lists. I'm going to have same variable name. I'm going to have 1, 2, 2 and then 45 and then 90 and 67. Okay. And then I'm going to print those values. My list. I want to access 2. Now what will be the value? Now what value I'll get?
Forty-five.
See, in
Sorry,
my
it's
list
a
I passed to
string.
string. I passed
Okay.
string, right? It will throw index error. Okay, wait. Hold a minute. Why it's throwing type error? Okay,
String
okay.
to int. That's right.
Okay, one minute. Already shown this example, right? Okay, yeah. String to int, right? List of integers must be integer. Must be a integer or slices, not string. Okay. Okay. This example is not suitable actually. If I give some 91, if I give 90, what is the value? Because list index starts with 0. List index starts with 0. If I give my list of 90, what's the value?
Yeah, and now it's index error.
Okay, it's going to index error. Okay, I can't show this example. Okay, I already shown this example to you, right? Now I'm going to have one more example. Trying to access an index, trying to access an index that is not valid for a dictionary. Access an index that is not valid for dictionary. Okay, I'm going to have one dictionary. Dictionary is my dict. You can use a dict function or you can use butterfly braces to have a empty dictionary. I'm going to have something like key 1, the key, and then value is going to be value 1, and then it's going to be key 2, and then I'm going to have the value 2. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to have the print statement, my dict, and then I'm going to have the key 3. What value you'll get?
Yeah,
For
index
key
error.
index error. Okay, I'll get. Okay, 1 minute. The particular key is not index error. Okay, because I'm not passing the index, right? Okay, okay. That's one more topic called key error. Okay, we'll cover these things later. So won't work for this. It's more two examples more than enough. Okay, just copy and paste it. Okay, yeah. These two examples will come in the index error. Now next one is I'm going to show key error. Key error. The exception is raised when the key is not found in the dictionary. Right? Okay. 1 minute. I'm going to take the key error. I'll show the same example. Let's close the tabs. Yeah. Now we're going to see the key error. Okay, key error. Already we derived the example right now. Now you already know it is going to throw the key error because key 3 is not available in the dictionary. That's why it's throwing the key error. Okay. Now I can have the commands like that. Trying to access a key. Sorry, not index. Trying to access a key that is not valid for the dictionary. That does not. I can mention like that does not exist in the dictionary. That does not. That does not exist in the dictionary. Okay, this is going to be the key error. Copy it, right? Okay, let it be. Okay, I shown this example to you. Trying to access a key that does not exist in dictionary. Okay, that does not exist dictionary. Okay, I will take the same example. You will take the same example now. Now what I going to do? Key equal to equal to address, equal to address. I'm going to pass a variable name key. Now you're going to say what kind of exception is going through. I have an I have one dictionary, and then I have two key values, and then I have one variable name. The key is going to address now. I pass in the key to my dictionary. Okay, in the my dictionary, I'm going to search for this key. The key is address. Now, whether it's going to print the address value or it's going to throw the exception. And so, if I give key equal to address,
Okay.
what exception is going to throw? It's going to print the address or going to throw the exception. Assigned address is key. Okay, variable
Okay.
is
It
key.
will throw exception.
Throw the exception. It will throw key error because address key is not found in the dictionary. Okay, this is going to be the another example. And then I'm going to have one more example. I'm going to have one set. Okay, I'm going to have one set. It's going to be like I can say like a tuple. I can say a tuple. In the tuple I'm going to have a set. In the tuple I'm going to remove one particular value. Okay, now I'm going to have like comments using a set operation that requires a key that requires a key that requires a key like I requires a key on a set that does not contain the key, that does not contain a key. Okay, I'm going to have one set. Okay, I'm going to have a set that I'm going to have like fruit names like somewhat like apple, banana, and grapes. Banana, orange, grapes. Okay, now I'm going to remove the using remove. I'm going to pass the element. I'm going to pass. I have apple, banana, orange, grapes, right? I'm going to pass kiwi. What will happen? What will happen if I try to remove kiwi because kiwi is not present in my
Throws.
set, right?
Yeah.
It
Throws
will
key error.
throw key error because there is no particular keys available in the apple. Okay, now we can able to see that's why it's showing kiwi is not found. It's showing key error. Okay, yeah, this is another example. And then fourth example, we are going to have a nested dictionary. Fourth example, I'm going to act in invalid value from the nested dictionary. Okay, trying to access a value. Don't get confused. Okay, that's why showing so many examples using your invalid in your nested dictionary. Okay, I'm going to have one dictionary. The dictionary can use dict. Okay, you can use dict function. I'm going to have one parenthesis. In the parenthesis, I'm going to have something like key is going to be a person. You can use dict or you can use a butterfly bracket to create a dictionary. Person, and then I'm going to have a nested dictionary. In the person, I'm going to have one more dictionary. Name, name is going to San, and age is going to be 26. Okay, age is going to be 26. Now, friend, I'm going to use the my dictionary, and that I'm going to pass a key of person. Okay, and those in the national dictionary, right? I passed person, and then I'm going to have the person address. What output I'll get? Though it's a nested dictionary, what output I'll get? I'm trying to access a value from using invalid key in the nested dictionaries. Person key is available. What about address? Address is not available. Definitely it's going to throw what error? Key error. The particular address key is not available in my dictionary. Okay. Now we have seen what I have seen so far. Key error we have seen so far. Next type is going to be value error. Okay. When the value will occur, the exception is raised when a function or method is called with an invalid argument or input, as well as we are trying to convert string to an integer. Okay, when the string does not represent a valid integer. Okay, the two things value will occur. If you are trying to pass some invalid inputs instead of string inputs, you are passing numeric inputs. Definitely going to throw the value error. Second thing is, and if you are trying to convert a string to integer or into float or float to double, this kind of things if you are trying to do, definitely it's going to throw the value error. Okay, now for value error, going to see the examples. Okay, now I'm going to create a py file. It's going to be value error examples. Now, what I'm trying to do, first thing is trying to convert here into integer. Trying to convert a string to integer. Okay, but the string contains non-numeric characters. Now, what I'm trying to do, I have an int. Okay, I have an int function. In the int function, I'm trying to use ABC. ABC string actually. ABC string. I'm trying to convert int. Now, if I run the script, what will happen? What error will throw? The ABC string. I'm trying to convert it into value.
Type
It
error.
will throw value error. What I said to you, if you pass some invalid arguments to a function, or if you're trying to convert into string or into float or into double, definitely it throw the value error. Okay, because see, I can change 5 string. I can convert into int, but ABC is a string, but I can't convert it into value. That's why it's throwing the value error. Okay, this is the first example. You can paste it over here. 1 minute. For that, I'll check whether I have placed this code in my where key error, right? Yeah, key error. I want to place these things. Okay, let it be. Now come to the value error part. This is going to the first example. Yeah, value error. This is going to first example. If you try to convert the string to int, definitely it's going to throw. It's going to throw the value error. Now I'm trying to convert string to a boolean. Trying to convert string to boolean. Trying to convert string to boolean. What will happen? Yeah, we can use bool. I'm trying to convert string to boolean, right? I'm going to give the same ABC. Can I able to convert to boolean? Bool will accept only true or false. You can convert true or false. See, you can give a string as true. You can convert to boolean. You can give false and convert to boolean, but you can't convert the ABC into boolean. Definitely, it's going to throw. Why it's running? What happened? It's not throwing any error. Oh my god. 1 minute. It's not throwing. Bool. Bool. Okay. I don't know about Python 3.0. Let's check. Let x equal to, I'll print the value of x. Print the value of x. What? I'm passing ABC. Okay. Let's check. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. But it has to throw some exception. I think Python 3 they made some changes. Giving some value for a pool, but it's giving the true. I'm thinking that checking the value, whether the value is available or not. But why it's coming like this? Okay. I give some special symbols. Let's check. Why it's giving true? It's not printing anything. Why it's not giving bool? Why it's giving bool? Okay. We'll convert float. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's throwing value error. If you're trying to convert some hash into float, it's throwing the float error. It's working fine. Yeah, I'll check and let you know. Try to convert special characters, special characters into float. It's throwing the value error. Boolean also it has to accept the same thing. And check and let you know. Bool should accept only true or false. Now third one I'm going to show. Convert here. I'm trying to convert a string to date. How to convert string to date? String to date. You have to use
Yes.
formatter. Okay. You have to use formatter. Like you have to use a module called datetime module. A datetime module I can use datetime dot datetime class. In that I'm going to use parser. Okay. strp rp means parser. And then I'm going to pass some dates. The dates are going to pass some 2022, and then the date is going to a month 13, and month is going to 01, and then I'm going to have some pattern. Pattern I want to pass. Okay, pattern I want to pass as percentage. First one is year, right? I want to carry pass y, and then hyphen month is going to be m, and then hyphen percentage t. Okay, now though I have 4 digits here, right? 2022, but I given only single y. For day it is 01. I given single d. Now what I will throw? It's not matching with the pattern. Definitely it is going to throw value error. The time data 2022 1301 doesn't match with the y because I have to give 4 y's, and then month I have to give double m, date I have to give double d. Okay, that's why it's getting the value error. Okay, this is going to be a third example for value error, and then fourth one is going to be very simple. Trying to convert a string to float. Trying to convert string to float. Okay, now what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that float function. What I'm going to give 1.23.4. It's going to throw what error? Value error. We can't convert the string to float directly. This is going to be the fourth example. Okay, next we're going to see attribute error. Okay, the exception will be raised when attribute or method is not found on the object. You are trying to access the non-existent attribute of class. Okay, in a class you have some attributes. If you are trying to access a non-existent, the attribute is not present in your class. If you are trying to access non-existent attributes, definitely it is going to throw the attribute error. Okay. Now what I going to do? I going to have one class called attribute error, new Python file. I going to make it as attribute error. Okay. Now trying to access an attribute that does not exist. That does not exist. Okay. I'm going to have one class. The class name I'm going to give my class, and then I'm going to have one constructor. In constructor, in that I'm going to have like one variable, sorry, and then I'm going to have one variable. The variable is going to be and we're going to have one variable called self dot my attribute equal to somewhat I can give like hello world. Okay, now I'm going to create an object for the class. You know already how to create object. You have to create some instance. The instance I'm going to create my object equal to I'm going to create the class name, and then I'm going to call the constructor. Okay, now I using the print statement my object dot now what will be the results you're going to see, what value it's going to print in the console. Instance dot my attribute I given underscore one I given. Now what value are going to get? I'm asking you. I'm going to call the my attribute underscore one. What value are you going to
Okay.
get?
Hello world. No, no, you won't get value because attribute 1 you have given.
Okay, what kind of exception will throw?
Like attribute error.
Attribute error. My class object is not having no attribute. My attribute underscore one. Did you mean my attribute? It's saying my attribute present, but my attribute underscore one is not present. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is another example I'm going to show. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. For that and value error, I want to paste all the things. Okay. Just close this part. Now come to the attribute error. Okay. Now second one is trying to call a method. Trying to call a method that does not exist. Does not exist. Okay. Now I'm going to have one same thing. Okay. Like I'm going to have one class, my class. In that I'm going to have one method, my method. Method is my method, and then I'm going to use self instance, and then I'm going to print what hello world. Now I'm going to create an object underscore one is instance equal to my class, and then object, and now it is a print statement. Not a print statement now. Okay, already method you have print statement dot my methods underscore two. What will be the output? What will output? If I try to call the my method underscore two, what will output? Definitely it's going to throw the attribute error because this method is not available in your class. That's why it's throwing attribute error. This is going to second example. Third example is trying to access the attribute of model that does not exist. Trying to access the attribute of a module that does not exist. That does not exist. Okay. Now I'm going to have one module called math function module. In that math function module, I want to need some submodules. Math dot the have seal and floor and trunk I have. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a non-existent attributes. Non-existent attribute means instead of floor, I want to need floor underscore one. Floor is available, but I need floor underscore one. If I try to run this script, it will throw what will throw attribute error because I'm trying to access attribute of model that does not exist. This model does not exist in the math module. Floor is available, but floor underscore one is not available. That's why it's throwing this attribute error. Okay, this is going to be the third example. Okay, and then fourth one is very important. Trying to modify. I'm going to trying to modify. Okay, trying to modify an attribute of an object that of an object that is read only. Which one is read only? List is mutable. Tuple is immutable. You can't able change. Once you define a tuple, you can't able change. Okay, that's what I am saying here is my tuple. You have to use the now this is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. If I am trying to modify the my tuple of 0th position as 4, can I able to modify? Tuple is immutable. You can't able change the value. Once you define, you can't able change the value. I'm changing 0th position should be 4. Now if I run this script, what will happen? Definitely it is going to throw what exception? Why it's throwing type error? 1 minute. Yeah, tuple is support these item assignments. Yeah, tuple item does not support item assignments. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, tuple I know tuple does not support item assignments. Yeah, it's going to the type error only. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to valid example. 3 examples more than enough. Okay, 3 examples is more than enough. Let's see. First one is I'm going to call the action attribute that does not exist. I'm trying to call a method that does not exist. Third one is I'm trying to access attribute model that does not exist. Instead of floor, I'm trying to access floor underscore one. It's giving the attribute error. Now the next one is going to see IO error. It's very important. IO error is nothing but the exception will raise when an input output operation such as reading or writing a file due to input output error. For example, if a file does not have sufficient privileges, definitely will throw the input output error. If the file is not having read permission, it will throw input output error. If the file is not having write permission, it will throw input output error. If the file does not have execute permission, it will throw IO error. It's mostly depends on the files. Read permissions, write permissions, as well as execute permissions. If a proper permission is not, a proper privilege is not in the available in the file, definitely will throw the IO error. Now I'm going to show the few examples of IO error. I'm going to have one py file IO error. Okay, I'm going to close this part. Okay, now for IO error, I'm going to show 2 examples. Okay, first example is I'm trying to read from a file that does not exist. Okay, comments trying to read from your file that does not exist. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a with statement with open, and then I want to provide the file path. I want to provide a file path. I will make it simply like 1.txt, and then I'm going to have going to have some permissions. What permission I going to give? Read permission as file. Okay. Now if I want to check print statement file dot read, definitely it's going to throw this. We'll see the exception. It will throw the IO error. Okay. File not found error. Okay, it's throwing the file not found error. The file not found error. The parent exception will be IO error. Under the IO error, this file not found error will come. Okay. Now, if you want to handle this kind of exceptions, what I have to use? In try block, you can put the code. In try block, you can copy the code. 1 minute. In try block, you can copy this code, and then in except block, you can handle the exception. What exception you have to handle? File not found error exception, you have to handle it. Okay, and then yeah, you can give file not found error. You can give some references as e. Okay, I made a syntax error over here. Except file not found error is e, and then you can print e dot string error name. Okay, in terms of string, I want to print this error message. That's why e dot string error. What will happen if you run the script? It's going to print the error messages. No such file directory. This file is not present in the C directory. Okay, because it's throwing some exception called file not found error. In file not found error, I given e dot string error. String error means no such file or directory. This is one of the perfect example for the IO error. Okay, under the IO error, this file not found error will come. Okay, just copy and then paste in Notepad. Next example, I'm going to show trying to write a file, trying to write a file that does not have write permission, that does not have write permission. Okay, and then I'm going to have like same thing with open, and then I'm going to have some file name, and then going to have some file name, and then c colon sample.txt, c colon sample.txt, and then I want to give permission as a write permission. Okay, write permission, as well as I want to give as file. Now I'm going to file dot write. In the write, I want to give hello world. Okay. Now if I run the script, what exception will throw? It will throw the permission error. This permission error will come under the IO exception, input output exception. Okay. If you want to handle this exception, because this file is not present, and then this file is not having any permission to write the contents of hello world in this file. Okay. For that, you can able to, what you can do, you can use the try and exception block. Try and exception block you can do, and put like this, except in the except I can use like what error it is, permission error, right? Permission error as e. In that print, I can print the message e dot if you want error number, you can print get the error number, but I want the string in terms of error. If you run the script, it's going to show exception error messages permission denied, because this file is not available, it is not having any write permission. It's coming to the exception part on the permission error exception handled, and then it's printing the error standard string error messages permission denied. Okay, and then what I can do, okay, we'll see that remaining examples. What are the remaining examples we have? We have zero division error and import error, and then we're going to see advantage of exception handling and disadvantage exception handling, and then we're going to write your custom exception. These things will be carry forward to tomorrow classes. Okay, I will take tomorrow what is advantages, disadvantages, exception handling, and then how to write a custom exception on your own. These are called the built-in exceptions. Okay, how to write a custom exception on one. Okay, these things we'll discuss it later. I'm going to sign off the session right now.